You've worked really hard in preparing and practicing your talk. So on the day of, you want to make sure that there are no technical glitches and that you're comfortable in what you're wearing.
If you go to the room that you're going to present and suddenly the computer doesn't work, you're going to freak out. Try to avoid those things by, if you can, making sure that the technical components, you know what they are and you know they're working.
There have been so many times that I have thought, it's okay, I have notes in the PowerPoint slides and I'm gonna have presenter view, and then you show up and that's absolutely not how their setup is, and there's no way for them to give you that setup and you just have to go. There may or may not be technology support immediately on hand, and there may or may not be a lot of instruction for how you're supposed to bring or share your slides. I tend to try to have my slides in multiple formats. So I have my laptop where my slides are ready to go. I have a thumb drive where my slides are ready to go. I have them somewhere on Box or Dropbox or Google Drive where I can also download them if I need them, so that I can always access the slides. And then comes the question of like, okay, great, I can access the slides, but these days I'll often have a video somewhere in them. Does the video work?
When it comes to video or audio, just embed all of those images in your file and make sure that you back up that file more than once and have a few copies of it on you, especially if you're presenting at an international conference where you might not have access to your computer.
If I can, I do try to simulate what the talk environment is going to be like. Often where you're giving the talk is not where you're practicing the talk.
And I always really want to know what the setup is going to be. Is it going to be a really big screen? Is it going to be on a television? Or sometimes it's a room that has a whole bunch of screens in every direction. I had a really great opportunity to go around Turkey to giving research talks. When I got there, the first place that I went to was an auditorium of about 500 or 600 students, and I showed up there. They got me mic'd up with like a Britney Spears mic. They had all these Turkish celebrities there that were also giving talks about the work that they had done in their research. It was so intimidating. And if I had known more of that, then I probably would have prepared differently. It just really changed what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. Because I was caught off guard once, I definitely have learned from that mistake. I will always ask whoever I can what the venue is going to look like.
As scientists, our daily lives tend to be pretty casual, but there's something about the talk environment that I think just intrinsically you sort of want to respect that experience by dressing a little bit nicer. What I see scientists wearing when they're giving talks is sort of a slightly more formal version of their day-to-day wear. You are wearing something that is a little more professional, but is still typically comfortable.
Wear something that makes you feel happy. If you're going to be etching or something's going to be too tight, you're going to be uncomfortable while delivering that talk, and that's probably going to affect how you deliver that talk.
Dress as professionally as possible, but also have fun with it. Put yourself in clothing and in jewelry that makes you feel great, because if you feel great, that will translate into, how you present your talk.
One question you need to ask yourself is what kind of event you are presenting at. If you're presenting at a scientific conference to peers, you want to dress nicely. You want to dress in probably a button shirt and khakis or some nicer jeans. But obviously, if you're giving a presentation at a black tie event, make sure you fit with the crowd.
I went to a conference when I was in college that was, it was the Oceania Chondrichthyan Society, which is people who study sharks in Australia and sort of the surrounding areas. Because it was in Australia, there were a lot of like tank tops and flip-flops, but I didn't know that going in. And I had just come from visiting a friend who is in a very, very different field from me. And she told me for sure, like, you need to have a suit for this. I bought a suit that like fit me really nicely. I got there, I gave my presentation amongst all these other ecologists that are like in flip-flops and stuff. They gave me the best dressed award for the conference, which sounds nice, except when you think about like the clothing you choose in order to give a presentation, like, you know, you don't want that to be the thing that they remember. You want the information you're conveying to be what people remember.
Whatever you are wearing to your talk, make sure your slide background is not the same color. So if you tend to wear black a lot, it's probably a good idea for your slide background to not be black, so that you're not just a floating head in front of the slides. It's kind of silly, but I have caught myself sort of being like, oh, wait, hold on, my slides are black. Okay, that means I have to change what I'm wearing today.
When I step on the stage and I'm talking about my work and I'm dressed really nice, I know that I'm putting my best foot forward, you know, in my image, but I'm also putting my best foot forward in my work.